Pompeii is a site that never ceases to amaze. One of the most famous sites in the world still has riches to be uncovered, despite the fact that the devastating volcanic eruption occurred in 79 AD and the ruins of the ancient Roman city were discovered as early as the 18th century. Now, archaeologists have uncovered a fascinating shrine in Pompeii that had been buried for centuries beneath volcanic ash. Excited to learn more about this remarkable finding? Then stick around. Ancient Pompeii, in the province of Naples in Italy, is one of the most visited historical sites in the world due to its status as the best preserved example of a Roman city. It was buried under a layer of ashes and pumice stone, which has allowed it to remain largely unchanged since its discovery in the late 19th century. Once a powerful and prosperous city, Pompeii is now a place of tragedy and haunting beauty that fascinates and captivates people from all over the world. Oscan speakers originally populated Pompeii and the surrounding cities in the Bronze Age. The cultural Greeks of Campania settled in the city around 800 BCE, leaving a lasting legacy in the form of the Temple of Apollo that was later uncovered in the rubble. After the Samnites and Etruscans left, the Romans conquered the area in 89 BCE and established a colony there. Located to the southwest of Mount Vesuvius, the city's soil is rich in nutrients thanks to the mountain's volcanic history. Before Mount Vesuvius erupted at noon on August 24, 79 BCE, the city of Pompeii had flourished with residents living in beautiful homes and engaging in a wide variety of professions. Pliny the Younger saw it and wrote about it in his letters to the historian Tacitus. It is estimated that thousands of city residents and residents of the surrounding areas perished in the conflagration, either by being crushed under falling rubble or by breathing in the lingering ash and smoke for days afterward. Domenico Fontana, an architect, uncovered Pompeii in the 16th century after it had been buried for 17 centuries under pumice stone, ashes, and other volcanic waste. This kept the city safe from weather changes, vandalism, and theft. In 1738, excavations began, and in 1860, when Italian archaeologist Giuseppe Fiorelli was appointed director, the careless digging that had been inflicting damage since the beginning was finally put to a halt. The excavation of the once great metropolis and its inhabitants' lifestyles continued at varying intervals, each time under the direction of a different set of experts. More than two-thirds of the ancient city of Pompeii has been excavated so far, making it one of the best sources of information about Roman life and architecture available. The abundance of written records preserved at the site, including thousands of electoral announcements and hundreds of wax tablets that mostly spelled out financial transactions, allowed visitors to reconstruct the town's daily life. These tablets' wax had melted, but the stylus impressions on the hardwood backing made the writing legible. Signed seals, amphorae labels, graffiti, and grave inscriptions are other priceless forms of written documentation. Historians were given new perspectives on underrepresented groups, including slaves, the impoverished, women, and gladiators, thanks to these sources that had previously been unavailable to them. The surprising prominence of religion in the lives of the local families is revealed in the many well-preserved house shrines. The bakeries, complete with mills needing machinery and ovens, shed light on how the primary food of everyday Pompeian life was made. The prevalence of fooleries, or wool processing and cleaning facilities, suggests that the fulling business played a significant role in the economy of the time. Other parts of ancient city life that were documented include factories producing garum or fish sauce and lamps, shops owned by sculptors, toolmakers, and gem cutters, and countless wine and food shops. Furthermore, Pompeii was a thriving port city that shipped goods all across the Mediterranean. What we've learned from these discoveries is quite astounding, and now in 2018, archaeologists have discovered Pompeii's mysterious Enchanted shrine, which had been lost for nearly 2 millennia and had been covered by the ash from Mount Vesuvius. The sacred altar space was found and covered in an almost unblemished state of preservation as a result of the fact that it had been buried in volcanic ash following the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in the year AD 79. According to Massimo Ossana, the lead archaeologist at Pompeii, who was speaking with the reporters from the New York Times, the temple is very well maintained. This is a fascinating and mysterious room that needs to be investigated carefully at this time. According to Ossana, the walls of the temple were painted in a beautiful blood-red color. This supposedly brought to life visions of a wonderful garden with bright green leafy trees, coiled and twisting serpents, peacocks, birds, and bulls in the marvelously flowing Roman illusionistic fashion. There is a depiction of a man with a dog's head that's located on one of the walls of the shrine. This image is generally recognized as being a picture of the Egyptian god Anubis in his Romanized form. Paintings of eggs, which were considered to be a symbol of fertility in ancient Rome, were also used to decorate the temple. Ossana describes the location of the ancient shrine as being buried in the wall of a house and is surrounded by representations of Roman gods crucial to domestic rites. This is the location where a lararium, which is an ancient type of shrine, was unearthed. Work has not yet been completed on the garden, and a little pool that'll surround the shrine when it's finished. A lecturer at the University of Notre Dame named Ingrid Roland responded to a question posed by the Daily Mail regarding the frequency with which shrines were found in Roman households by stating that every house had a lararium in some form. Roland continued by saying that the wealthiest people could have afforded a lararium inside of one-of-a-kind chamber that featured an elevated pool and gorgeous furnishings. Not only did archaeologists discover other treasures beneath the garden shrine, but they also discovered a beautiful hall that was packed with ancient artwork. Who can say what is hidden beneath that? Underneath the garden shrine, archaeologists unearthed an altar, and from it, they collected organic waste that was later proven to be the remains of burnt offerings from approximately 2,000 years ago. This information was uncovered after the garden shrine had been excavated. Mr. Osana hypothesizes that the charred remains of figs, almonds, and eggs that are sprinkled over the altar are food sacrifices to fertility deities, in the same manner that the drawings of eggs that were discovered in the garden are supposed to be food offerings to fertility deities. According to an email sent by Mary Beard, a professor of classics at Cambridge University, to the New York Times, Beard added that she anticipates it'll continue that way for the time being. Beard was alluding to the fact that approximately one-third of Pompeii has not yet been excavated. Beard argued that the place was safer underground due to the fact that in the future, much better approaches for comprehending it than we have would be produced. Beard is speaking for a large group of archaeologists who feel this way, which is that it's sometimes desirable to leave discoveries of sites in such incredibly high levels of preservation alone, knowing that future scientists will derive much more data with methods we haven't even dreamed of yet. He's saying that it's something desirable to leave alone discoveries of sites in such incredibly high levels of preservations. The idea is that the site could be accidentally destroyed or deteriorated by unpredictable environmental factors before future archaeologists excavate the site, making it exceedingly difficult to preserve such a line when such incredibly interesting murals are found. In light of this, Beard stated, "It is quite exciting just to have a few fresh discoveries." Archaeologists have concluded that when a pyroclastic hot surge of 500 degrees Celsius struck Pompeii, it instantly killed every single person who lived there. With numerous bodies still in the crouching positions in which they died, a new report has been published indicating that many people's brains, cooked in heads, exploded when the volcano erupted in AD 79. Though the spectacular city's terrible conclusion occurred about 2,000 years ago, archaeologists are still working hard to uncover its past. Where could this story go from here? Only time will tell. Now it's time to end this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos from us. We'll see you in the next video.